All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fuckers laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 209th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Andre Iguodala episode because we are instrumental cogs in the wheel of the championship that is the craft industry. All right, we are pushing shit forward. We are vets, and we come through, and we're utility men. We can do anything, bro. We can pass, defend, rebound, score. We can do whatever it is you need. The Drinking Partners can be there, and we will push you to championships. I'm half of your host, Tandem Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 208 episodes, man.
This
We've
is
been
209.
asking you. 209 episodes. We've been asking you two or two. We will continue to ask you, please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
Listen, you love us, you see us out in public, you tell us that you love us. Now, at the click of a button, please tell the world, please tell everybody, all right? And as always, this is the 209th time that we'll say this. In lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Hennessy, all right? Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to everybody who's keeping the trend going. Shout out to everybody who supports what we do, man. We have some really devout fans. We love the Henny, but write something down on the internet. Let other people know, like, yo, we fucks with them.
Yeah.
And we always give you opportunities to see us, opportunities to get Henny. The next opportunity will be May 17th down at Ace Hotel.
Yeah, Silent Disco, Fresh Fest, East End, Black Culture, Black Brew Culture, releasing the For the Culture 2.0. Ooh, that's
like the Jordan releases.
Those cans are sleek.
What you got? I got the twos. That's how that For the Culture. We gotta do that. We gotta do can shares. Down the road.
Yeah, man. That For the Culture 2.0, East End Tap Takeover, Silent Disco. You can get tickets at freshfestbeerfest.com. And then May 18th, we've been out at Arcade Comedy Theater. DC chilling. Yeah, TJ Ferg coming through. Got Rob Puncher coming in from New York. ArcadeComedyTheater.com.
And then May 25th, we got Mike James coming up from Nashville, Tennessee. That's Cashville, Tennessee, as Young Buck used to say. Yo, I used to be a crazy Young Buck fan, and I feel embarrassed about it.
He did drop a decent album.
Ever since he fell off that motorcycle, man, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Straight Outta Cashville was a really good album.
Yeah, I had hope. I had hope for him. I was like,
then 50 Cent turned into 50 Cent. 50 petty as fuck. 50 top 10 petty people on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. In history. 50 Cent is top 10 historically petty motherfucker in the world. But May 25th, we got Mike James coming up. Mindful Brewery will be sponsoring both shows. So it's always BYOB, and we give out free craft samples. Free craft samples, all right? And ampersand, as well as in addition to craft samples, along with whatever you want to bring. Mindful, their second month of their residency, So come out to Concert Theater and Arcade Comedy Theater. Now, our guest, that gets us to our guest, because they finished, were they the first residency technically?
Yeah.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
It felt like an extended run of great nights of comedy, fueled by great beer.
Yeah.
Everybody came in and got that exclusive. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna open it up in Harmony Ridge, but they've already sponsored shows. They got the cans on the table. They always bring a good time. So we want to welcome Jeremiah and Zach to the show from Union Brothers Brewing. Say what up to the people.
What's up? What's up, people?
All right, so he acknowledged the people. You just here.
He's just here. Yeah. He's just here.
No, we like it. So, one, we're happy to have you here. We're happy to see the progress that you have. We are appreciative of you sponsoring the shows. Everybody stumbled out of there feeling really good, and that seems like they came up out of there like, yeah, we had a Union Brothers night.
Yeah, no, I mean it was it was crazy because we met up at Butler Brew Works. We just happened to be like drinking, at the bar.
It's apropos.
I mean,
we happen to be drinking,
and Zach came through and was like, "Yo, let me." This ain't on the market right around.
Oh, he pulled you to the back?
Yeah.
By the fire escape, like, yo, swig
got
this.
some of this exclusive.
He had an overcoat. He had a flask and an overcoat. Swig this.
So like, I'm back to the crib, and I had a few of them, and then like me and Chris were sitting, at the basement bar, and we had that knuckle tats, and we were like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" Like, and that's when I was like, "Hey, yo, so who are y'all again?" Like, but yeah, you guys have a great lineup. Like tell us how you got into this whole brewing situation.
So it started probably, I'd say, 5 years ago. The Pittsburgh craft beer scene is huge, and it was like something that we didn't even we like slept on Pittsburgh. We would go into Cleveland, Great Lakes, literally every month, and we'd wait in these lines, huge lines, for like some barrel aged stout that I was like, after I sat in that line, I was like,
let's not digress. Cleveland's great.
No, it is. I mean, that's what got us into craft beer. We would go out there. Cleveland had like right in this area, like 3 or 4 breweries, and like I said, we'd make a day, 2 days out of it, and hit them all, and then we'd come back and we're like, man, we could do this.
We should brew beer.
We could try to do this. And it kind of one day I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I hit him up. I'm like, you want to come over? Let's brew some beer, Had no clue what we were doing. It was terrible.
Yeah. The first few were really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a good bit.
What were the first few?
I think the first one we did was a brown ale and an IPA, and they were both pretty bad.
Yeah.
So it was something that was cool. It was our hands. We made it, We just kept grinding through.
I mean, at the time they were good, but it was like, now that we're where we are, we're like, yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah.
It was like, at the time we're like, yeah, these aren't bad, but now like we're like, what were we doing?
Well, expectations are set now, and I'm always impressed by just the mindset of like, all right, I had this good beer. You know what? I can make that. I could do that. Let's do that here. Like that culture is happening. That's a cool thing happening here. Let's make that happen where I am. Like that's crazy, especially because y'all had no home brewing experience, right? You jumped in.
We
just jumped right into it.
And yeah, it was quick. Like I said, we started with a cooler, like everybody else for the mash tun, and just kept going and going. And we're not a part of any clubs, but we're friends with a ton of people. We just don't got time to make it to the, you got to make it to all these meetings. And it was, our first was probably Couch Brewery. Carrie brought us down out of nowhere. I met this guy on social media, and started talking to him. He just kind of knew into the brewery, and he invited us down with never meeting us and said, come down and brew, and after that, he taught us so much stuff, and then just, kept growing, and we still talk almost once a week now, about different stuff that's going on with, just trying to get better off each other. So,
yeah, that's a hell of a community.
Oh yeah, it's just a big you'd think it would be like, no, I'm not going to tell you anything, but it's more like, hey, this is what I do. You should try this, and it's like that's what's nice about it is because like everybody's like super like, let's keep this going type of thing, and like they want the industry to grow, they want everything to get bigger and better, and it's just. It's a cool industry to be in.
Yeah, no, I mean the support that you all have between the breweries is crazy. How do you? So like when you come in,
I'm sorry. Is it because I'm sober? Like I don't understand why y'all aren't drinking beer on this drinking show.
We can drink.
We're just easing into it.
We was gonna talk and people that know.
It's a weird
sober one.
Well, here's what's funny because whenever
they weird ass drinking partners, like
no, it's not. Because first of all, this is episode 2 of 2. We're already drunk. Like this is not. But no, it's funny because they will typically just randomly go into that Like, yo, what are we gonna drink? Like, we'll be doing the introduction, and you're like, what are we gonna drink? But it doesn't feel random when you don't do it, because it's like, well,
I guess that's yours.
it's just been missing. So what are we pouring up here?
Oh, I guess that's yours too.
Oh, these are little car ride crazy.
Just go slower.
What are you gonna play to make this not awkward? Because Dan and I were just watching him pour. Because it's a very attractive beer. It's a very attractive beer. So Dan and I, we were kind of in a trance just watching him pour.
Yeah, that is
with no words being said on the podcast.
Everyone's on me.
Everybody.
Pressure's on.
What are we
some
pouring
like
up here?
citrusy?
It is. This one is.
This is the it's called Victor Nelson. I think me and you had a conversation. You're like, where did this name come from? And I said it's Vic Secret and Nelson Sauvin hops. We also threw some Citra in there, but it was something we took it. We actually debuted at the Comtra Theater. Like I said, this is exclusive beers. We can't get it anywhere.
That's why you should buy your tickets to our show. We might have an exclusive for you.
So it was something like we did a hazy pale ale, and we just wrote on our little board pale ale, because we're like, people aren't going to get this. People, they don't want a pale ale. They want an IPA. And I think maybe 38 minutes, the first keg kicked up at the Comtra Theater. So we're like, this is it, you know? So it's huge. Like I said, Citra, Vic Secret, and Nelson. We wanted something that's drinkable. It's 5.5%. You know, and it was hopped up like something that we would want to sit there all day and enjoy it.
What's the ABV? I'm sorry.
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah. So it's low enough to where you can just drink it all night instead
Or you can
of.
be at a comedy show and keep going back
Yeah.
and keep going back,
Yeah.
and your kidneys all full.
Yeah. So it's been a big hit for us. So it's something that I think we'll keep improving on and getting better with it.
Is Victor Nelson not the name of the villain on Beverly Hills, like Cop 2 or something? Is that not Victor Nelson? Hey, his name Victor Nelson?
Yeah.
For some reason, I hear Victor Nelson and I just imagine Eddie Murphy slide over the hood of a car shooting somebody. Like, I don't know why. I gotta Google that, but I don't know. You ever had a Google that you had to do that you don't know how to approach the question? Like, I can't say who is Victor Nelson. Is Victor Nelson in Beverly Hills Cop 2? I don't know what I should Google.
He do sound like a terrorist,
He sounds like.
like a diehard villain.
So what were you drinking before you started brewing?
It was probably IPAs, yeah. Like I said, Great Lakes had a couple that got us on, and we just kind of kept going from there. Now it's like you don't even have to leave your backyard. There's so many good options in the Pittsburgh area, in the neighborhood. Where we're at in Butler County, we got, I guess, 8 or 9 breweries now that are all solid, you know, and we, like Travis Butler Brewworks, like we talk to him all the time. He's helping us out, and his IPAs they're super good. So it's a good community to be in. Like I said, especially Butler County, it just keeps growing. As far as breweries, we're going to have like our own little trail out there. You know, you don't have to leave Butler County to get good beer. So it's
You
cool.
can only go to Butler for good beer at this point. What do you?
I think
what
so.
else
Yeah,
do you go
I
to
think
Butler for?
I think right now it's good beer.
That's why I went to Butler. That's kind of what got me there.
You go for good beer or a fair. There's a fair that happens in Butler County.
Yeah.
Butler has a fair.
Yeah, I've heard of the fair. I went to the breweries. But no, it is a good trail. But I mean, what are the benefits of going like into business with like more breweries up there, and like what do you bring different to the table? Because a lot of people are like doing stuff, and you know what I mean.
I think for us, it's our location. It was somewhere that we found, and as soon as we saw this location, we were like, we want this place. It's been abandoned for about 15 years now, but it's right on a creek, so it's going to be peaceful. We finally just last week got pretty much the green light to go ahead and start renovations, so it's going to start moving fast. But I think something that when I started brewing and we started getting together, I hated sour beer. I just wasn't a fan. So now we brew a ton of sour beers. They're huge hits. We go all around Butler County, and they're like, "There's the sour guys," And it was
that took in the 90s.
That was something different. Go that sour guy. You get a bloop bloop after that. You can't see me and call me the sour guy. Come on, man.
So, yeah, I think that's something that we bring, new to the table.
Wash your balls. Oh shit! It's 2-2.
Yeah, you can tell it's 2-2.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you make phenomenal brews. But the location, there's a lot of stories attached to that. That location.
We kind of told the township, we're like, this is what we're gonna do with this place. This is what we want to do with this place, and they're like, I mean, they're fully behind us. So we're gonna have a full restaurant, full service kitchen, brewery. Hopefully, probably have 12 to 14 beers on tap. With a rotating menu, we're gonna have some mainstay. We'll have new specials every week, kind of like a scratch kitchen. So I think it's just gonna be an overall good vibe. Everyone's, nice, peaceful place. So,
what are the hurdles you're gonna have to overcome going into like a bigger like draft, like like a bigger system?
Yeah, we talked to so many people. 4 Points Adam down at 4 Points. He's one of our huge mentors. He's one that went straight from the homebrew right into it and no professional experience. Now he's the head brewer and he's crushing it down there. His beers are off the chart.
Ridiculous shit.
Mm-hmm. So there's going to be growing pains going from, we're on a 1-barrel system right now. We're looking to be at like a 7-barrel system. So we know there's going to be, some growing pains. But hopefully, like I said, the support we have in the community, it'll hopefully be seamless transition for us and get up and going once we get there.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot more beer, which I'm okay with.
I think most folks should be all right with more beer. Like, you've never been like, no more beer. Like, I'll not partake, but please have some for the collective. But you know what we don't ask that we should ask every brewer? Like, what is a good beer to you? Like, how would you describe a good beer?
For me, it's like every brewer you talk to them, and it's like a good beer to them is a Pilsner, something that's going to be clean. And that shows that a Pilsner you can't hide nothing in. So if it's going to be clean, it's a mellow flavor, and if you got something going on funky in it, you're going to know.
Right.
But I like
Pilsners are the parallel parking of brewing.
Yeah,
you don't know if a motherfucker can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you good at this or not?
Absolutely. And it's Pilsner is not my favorite style, so it's like we brew a lager all the time. We have them, and last beer fest we took one, and I was like not a huge fan. I'm like not happy, and I was like, people to talk us into taking this beer. They're like, it's a good beer. So we took it, and
we kicked the keg.
Yeah, people killed it.
It seems like we make a beer, and we're like, yeah, it's like from what we're used to drinking, because like we would usually only drink like 8% or higher, it seemed like, and we just get destroyed in an hour, and then we kind of had to step away from that. So then we were like, all right, well, let's get like a good like lawnmower beer that you can just all day outside drink, and the Pilsner, it's a good one, and me and him both were like, yeah, it's okay, like, but it's just a Pilsner. But then we take it to a beer fest and kick it, and we're like, well, apparently it is really good.
So what do you think it was that had that Pilsner latch on? Because when I'm listening to this, I'm like, all right, so if you're going to be entering festivals, if the festivals are graded based on execution or whatever, maybe a Pilsner would be a good demonstration as opposed to trying to go to like a more exotic or unique flavor. Maybe if I'm in a festival or some competition, I brew a Pilsner to demonstrate that I can make a well-crafted beer and whatnot. Like, do you think that's what it was and why it hits at those events? Or because I don't know of anyone who says Pilsner's their favorite style. Like, but you do appreciate a good Pilsner.
Yeah, good Pilsner, like I said, just shows a well executed beer. And nowadays everything's hazy, so once you come out with this crystal clear beer, and it's a Pilsner, it's clean, crisp, everyone they appreciate it and know what you put in to make sure, the whole process, you got to pay attention to detail on a Pilsner, just because, like I said, there's nothing that's going to hide that off
It's like
flavor.
the master class. Like,
Who would have thought?
It's the
But
final
who would have
exam.
thought that the Pilsner would be the one?
Well, you're right.
But I think it hits
But then
like
when you explain it, I'm like, yeah, that does make sense.
It
Like,
makes
it's being
sense when you
clear,
listen
like,
to
yeah,
Brew,
like,
like-
oh,
yeah, because
shit,
it's got to be crystal clear beer. And I think it hits like people that are maybe just getting into craft beer. They're like, okay, well, I'm going to try this because it's like a Miller Lite basically, or like any light beer,
Right.
and you can give it to them as like, oh, hey, well, this is sort of what it is. Give them like an introductory, and it could be just people or they don't really like craft beer, but you're like, here, try this, and then they're like, oh wow, this is really good. So I mean, it's like a good introductory beer into the craft beer.
So how do you like differentiate yourself, like, and build a market in like a increasingly saturated market?
I think, like I said, we take pride in every step of the way, and we're always trying to improve. If we stay sleeping essentially and not getting better, we will get left behind. So it's like we got to just keep coming out with stuff that we like, people like, and improving on it every time. Like we can do, we do the same beers all the time, and then we add new ones, but we try to improve every time, because try to push the limits onto a beer. Because if you're just lackluster in the market, like I said, you're going to be left behind in this market. No, this market doesn't stop for you. You know what I mean?
How much does the personality do you think play into it? Because like for you two, you guys are just dudes I want to drink with. But for a lot of breweries, the head brewer, the owner, they're not the face of whatever. The beer is the face. But I guess in your situation, having made such beer that people are anticipating and still waiting to work through some things to get the actual brick and mortar open, like people have now get to see you with the beer all the time. You know what I mean? Like they constantly interact with you two along with the beer. So now you're associated with individually, but I want to drink with y'all. So like I think that would work in your favor.
I think it's, like I said, it was something that I think we're the face of the company, you know what I mean? And it's like we're the ones that are making what you're drinking. So I think that like someone wants to go in, I think, and talk to who's making what you're drinking. I think it makes people more passionate, and they get to say, hey, I met this guy, I know him. He's the one that's making all these beers. So I think it helps us as far as getting a following going. People come out, they want to see us, they expect to talk to us, they want to talk to us. So I think it's pretty cool to be Brewing and the owner, you know what I mean? And people expect, to see us when they come out.
So what are we drinking now?
So this one is Simpleton Pale Ale, which is Simpleton's the name of the series, I guess you could call it. And every time we'll just do a single hop on it and change the hop. So we have a Simpleton right now. We have a Simpleton Southern Passion, which is this one, and then we have another Simpleton Sabro. So that's just a single hop pale ale.
I like the after on this.
Yeah.
So the Simpleton is the hop.
The Simpleton is just the name because it's a one hop beer, so it's a simple beer. So it's a simple. But then the hop in this is the Southern Passion.
Okay, so this is the one we had, the Southern Passion. You said you had another one?
Yeah, there's
another
Sabro in there. And that's just our series. So Pale Ale too is like simple. It's you know what I mean? It's not complex. So we like to do this Simpleton and feature a new hop every time, rotating hop. That way you can kind of see what it does and see how that hop lands.
Mm-hmm. So like this one has how do you get that aftertaste? Like is that something that you work on in the brewing process to get that? I don't know, it has a little extra on the back end. Like you drink it, it's good, and then to get that little extra like shift after you.
Yeah, I think like I said, that hop gives you that tropical, slightly coconut. So it just depends when in the process you're adding that hop to. Okay. You know what I mean? You could do different techniques. You can add it on the hot side during the boil. You could add it in the whirlpool. I mean, and then even dry hopping at different times. It's going to give you, like, same hop's going to give you totally, different feels at different spots in the process.
See, I've never thought of that. Like adding the hop at a certain time to. curate an after kick. Like, I never, y'all motherfuckers is mad scientists. Like, y'all, I don't trust y'all anymore. Like, you gotta think shit all the way through. Like, I don't trust people who think shit all the way through like that. Like, nothing's random. It's all intentional. I don't trust you.
Yeah, so it's like I said, with the Simpleton series, we'll take one hop, and then, like I said, we'll mess with it at different spots. This one's dry hopped. Both of these are dry hopped. That's all we did after fermentation was complete. But like I said, we've added them on the hot side too, and you're gonna get like totally different. It's crazy, totally different feels from that same hop.
I feel bad, Dave, just sitting here. But this is the last one where you can't participate in the taste test. It feels nasty. Like, it just feels wrong.
It's actually cool as shit because like I'm hearing the description and I can kind of like taste it through.
I don't like that. Don't associate taste with my words. Like, it's like he's reading a Zane book. He's reading one of them freaky novels. He's just over there listening to us describe a good time. And he's just turned on. That's weird.
It's science.
It is though. Like, it's I will
science.
say again, I didn't know. So how do you manipulate the aftertaste situation? Do you have to add the hop earlier or later?
For us, like, we're trying to get on the hop. We'll do it later in the process, dry hopping. So, like, we'll dry hop it. Like I said, after fermentation, we'll leave the hops in there. We'll dry hop it, leave them in 3 to 4 days, and then we'll crash them out. And then it goes in a keg 24 hours later. So ours is pretty late in the process, but I think it's pretty much across the board what a lot of people are doing. And that's how you get that good flavor that you're looking for out of the hops.
And this I'm a novice, so I'm asking questions that may be on novice level, but like, what do you see in a hop that's like, yo, this hop is going to give like that after flavor, that after kick? Because not every beer that you drink has that extra, I mean, at the end of it, that it's almost a shift in flavor, but it's aligned with or parallels to, but like, this one has a good after kick. How do you see that in a hop, or does it happen? You're like, okay, that's a good side effect of how we did it.
Yeah, most of the hops, they'll have descriptors of what they're gonna get you. You know what I mean? So where it's gonna get you. And dry hopping is like, because you figure in the boil kettle, you add it on the hot side. All the good aroma and flavor is just getting blown off. You know what I mean? So you're losing. I mean, you can use a hop. There's dual purpose hops where like some are for bittering, so it's going to give you that bitter bite in a beer. But then you can use it on the cold side, dry hopping, and that's going to be all flavor. You're not going to get a bitter. You might have a green taste right after, you know what I mean? But you're not going to have that bitter bite of like a West Coast IPA. So that's kind of we shoot for on our beers, like the fruity side, and that's pretty much you could tell in the whole market's doing that right now, for the most part. But we just do different combos that we feel comfortable and we want to experiment with. So that's kind of cool about the Simpleton is, like I said, it's a different hop. These are two newer hops to the market. Sabro is right now is like the hottest thing out there. Everyone's trying to get it. So
how do you hop shop?
Google.
Yeah.
Use internet, look at the hops, see what's new, and just read what flavors you can get out of them, and then just test them. Basically, I mean, that's all you. If we have like, there's a lot of hops that we use regularly that we know what they're going to do, but then there's these new ones that we're like, well, let's see what we get out of it and see what we can do with it.
Like, are you like online? Like, how do you do this shit online? Like, how do you like? You just wing it? Because like, what if they like?
Or is there a website like a hub where
because you can't smell it, right? Like, you can't just sniff that shit. So like, how like when you're getting it online, you just got to trust the motherfucker that's just saying it. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's wild as hell.
We use Yakima. They're a pretty big hop supplier out of the West. And I mean, they're pretty spot on. You know what I mean? I think soon as
you probably have a chance to smell them first, and then you go, okay, I know what that is, and then just go online.
Somebody pull into a back of a warehouse district with a truck full of hops. Y'all smelling the hops and rubbing them on your gum. It's mosaic. It's pure.
Yeah, so I mean, you could tell too what everyone's doing, and like I said, we got some good mentors out there that have them tried and true and tell us what they think of them too as well. So it's cool for us, like, because we're like small batch, so it's like you know, if it's not a good hop, it's gone. But once we make that transition to the pro level, it's like, I mean, that you're looking at 11 pounds, 22 pounds of dry hops. That's, you know what I mean? And you better.
Well, you
Yeah,
make
know
an
what you're
investment,
doing.
like a real investment in these.
Yeah.
Is there like a brewer's, like, you don't have to tell us the name, but a iPhone app or whatever where y'all like trade like reviews of hops and suppliers? I know it exists. You don't have to tell us the name, but it exists.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It had to exist.
You know, there's all kinds of stuff out there that, you know, you can figure out and trade and talk to people. Yeah.
Hopfader.com. You gotta subscribe. You gotta pay membership. Like, yo, you're not gonna get these comments unless we get your debit card number.
ChristianHops.com.
Oh shit! For the blood of the lamb. ChristianHops.com. For the blood of the lamb. Sorry, this is 2 or 2 for us. So we're random as hell. But no, So what do you see as your largest challenge moving into now the commercial space?
Definitely, like we said before, it's just moving up to the bigger equipment, you know. And at this point, once you move over to that side of it, it's brewing's pretty much the easy thing. You know, the business side of it, running the business, there's so much you have to do and know. So we're lucky we have someone in place, you know, that has all that experience in business side, maybe not the beer side of the business, but so I think we got the right people in place to like just to help us excel and keep it going for us. And so we'll see. We're excited. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can start breaking ground in the next month and a half. You know, that's what we're shooting for. And hopefully we can go from there. And
I mean, you guys are like all over the place. Like, how many how much beer are you producing?
yeah, it's like
A lot.
Like,
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking beer, man.
yeah, and it's like I said, it's right now, man. We can only give them free beer out to people, so it kind of hurts. But it's like in a saturated market, this is what we feel is the right thing. We have to get out there. We can't just open our doors once we do open on the professional side and commercial side, and people are like, "Well, who are these guys?
Yeah.
I've never seen them. I've never heard of them."
Yeah.
And people want to know what you're doing, you know. So it's like we've gained a huge support, just community. I mean, we do all different counties, so people from all over are getting to try this and get to know who we are. Like I said, because it's us, the face of the people. We're there, you know. So everyone gets to interact with us, and it's pretty cool. Like so, the following's been crazy for us.
Yeah, no, I mean, y'all came down and smashed that Beaver County, that underground beaver.
Yeah.
We've been trying to like get. Well, I don't know. I've lived in Beaver for like about 5-6 years, and like it's a dry town, and we've been trying to like make it wet for a while, and that was
I feel like I gotta pause there.
it's man.
That's you got to watch the phrasing of that.
I was like, I don't want
And,
to do it, but I think the people call it for a
I'm
pause.
just saying, man. Like,
I feel like if you got those shirts made, like
Make it wet?
make Beaver wet. Yeah, I
From
think
now on, you got to come out the Twisters, get it wet. When we do it. Dear love, I was thinking about me shouldn't star in this magnificent way. You gotta look. Twister was that dude for a minute, man.
yeah.
So wait, I had a question. It's episode 2 and I forgot the shit. Nah, I feel bad. I dead ass forgot the question. I had a good ass question.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yeah, well,
2
we have 2 more beers, and I'm gonna remember this question. It might be like right when we doing the let out, but we do need to get into these other 2 beers.
yeah. There's a sour and there's the other Simpleton.
Simpleton. You let me know. This is your journey. Is there anything that you haven't brewed that you're like, yo, I gotta brew it?
I mean, there's some like, you know, like different lagers we want to start trying to do, like a winter lager, or, you know, even like just like a traditional lager. Like we do pilsners. We just did the Hells. So I mean, there's always more beer that we want to make that we want to try out and see how it ends, but it's just getting to that. I mean, we do a lot of IPAs, we do sours, we have stouts. I mean, there's a lot of variety, but there's just so many different styles of beer anymore. It's really endless as to what you can do.
So what's the indicator of, all right, we need to introduce a new beer or something like that? Because there's so many styles. So like if I walk into a brewery and there are 18 different styles, I'm not going to try all 18 in 10 visits. You know what I'm saying? So like, but you guys are constantly rotating the menu. So like, how do you determine like, yo, we need to make a switch, or is it just a timeline every X amount of months or whatever we're going to switch up the menu?
Yeah, right now, like I said, since we're just doing events and festivals, it's like once it's gone for us, and we keep it moving. But like this is a sauce. It's a sour that we do and rotate fruit in it. So every time it's different fruit. So it's kind of no schedule for us, like as far as timeline goes. But
that's the first beer that Cat drank.
This here?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was written by Fruity. I don't know. I thought I missed Doubtfire. I don't know why. It is
I've
very
been
good.
trying to get her to drink beer for like 6 years.
I think she could stay on this. Like this is not offensive to any palate. Like this
She
is
was with it.
fruity. It's got enough bite to be a beer. You know what I mean, you could try to name it. This is a sour.
Yeah, it's called Sauce is like this series that we do, and then we just, like you were saying, we change the fruit and just do all different fruits with it.
What fruit is this?
Blackberry.
Blackberry. See, because of beer, I've tasted a lot of fruits. Like there's only several fruit you take: is an apple, a pear, an orange, a grapefruit, a banana. What other fruits does everyone taste? Because I've never just had a blackberry. I've had blackberries and stuff, but I've never just had a blackberry.
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever have either, honestly.
So you should have beer because it expands your horizons.
Yeah, it's like
Taste fruits you never
you're
had.
drinking healthy.
You're drinking healthily. Blackberry molasses.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting oats and barleys and shit and fucking malts and all kind of like,
When the last time you had a raspberry? Like an actual raspberry.
Actual raspberry, no.
I'm sure you've had a raspberry beer though.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten just a blackberry?
I have.
See, you look like the type of motherfucker that used to pick berries off of bushes in people's yards. Be like, let me see what this.
Yeah.
I was scared. I always thought if you had berries in your yard, they were poisonous. That's how I felt. That's how it is growing up in the city.
They probably were in the city just because they were just like dirty from cars and shit. Like I feel like you would have to like.
But in
wash them
somebody's
off.
yard, they ain't getting the car shit on them.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how insulated they are. It depends on how close to the road the berries are.
It don't matter now. I never ate them.
Nah.
Like you never ate a crab apple. You always used it as a weapon.
Crab apple.
It's a small apple. It looks, but it's just a weapon because it grew up here, not across the street from our house. And we're not getting good apples. Them ain't Granny Smiths growing across the street. I'm about to throw this at somebody's window.
That was the wildest shit. Like walking around Florida and they have like good fruit just hanging from the like trees and shit. I was like, oh shit.
That's a different lifestyle if you think about it.
Yeah, I was like, you just walk around and like there's like fucking mangoes and shit. Just like it's a fucking mango. Is that a fucking mango? Like just out there like that? Like
Are we good? I could just take this off the street and nobody's gonna trip.
Like the fuck? Yeah, I mean it's a different place. But that's probably why God tries to wipe it out every year.
That's crazy.
I don't need that. That's fucked up. Them coastal cities, though, man, they be you want to move to those cities because of the weather, but then you also could experience tragedy. Like it could be like a hurricane.
Yeah,
ain't no typhoon coming through Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's just not happening.
Yeah, them fucking. Yeah, it's just gonna get worse. I mean, man, I don't. That's why Florida is so crazy, man. Because they keep getting wiped out. Like they're living on the edge down there, man. Like Florida, man, is real. Like it's a real sickness down there.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Do we have any Florida listeners? Get out.
Get out.
Florida look like an extra piece of skin on the chicken. You ever, when you cleaning your chicken, have to pull that extra skin off? That's what Florida look like. That's so terrible. Yeah, that's fucked up to say. So we lost our 7 Florida listeners, and that's cool. Y'all wasn't selling no beer in Florida, right? Are y'all like actual brothers?
No. Where it comes from is we're Union brothers. So we always get these fests and they're like, oh, you're from Union Township. And we're like, no. Oh, Union Town. So it's like funny, but no, I'm in the electrical union. He's a boiler maker. So that's kind of where we collided with like the Union brothers and just ran with it. So it's been pretty cool. Like the name and everything, even the following just from other union workers are like, can't wait for you guys to open. We're going to support you, So it's pretty cool.
That's savvy as fuck. Yo, you get into unions, unions will support the fuck out of you. Congratulations, gentlemen. That was smart.
They're drinkers.
Yeah. And what's funny is
they always got an event.
Oh yeah, right down the street from our where our brewery is going to be is one of the union's like training centers. So it's literally a 30-second drive from there. So we're close.
I see what you did there. That was. You know what? That made it even more swagged out for me. Be like, yo, we just gonna. What we're gonna do is we're going to market to the unions, the labor unions, because they got to drink, because they do labor. We're union bros, and we're in unions.
Yeah.
So you have to juggle the professional life with the, and it's I don't want to say, but they're both professional atmospheres. But like the brewery thing is something separate. Can you, I guess, advertise that at work? Like, I'd assume it's welcome in your job. So you guys are the coolest guys at the job now because you also have a brewery. See, it's not the same for me in my 9 to 5. Like, it's weird. Like, I almost feel like, all right, I got to keep this.
It's a little separate.
Yeah, I got to keep it separate. Whereas you can use your job as your main marketing space.
Yeah, and that's like I said, every time we drop some new merchandise or something, we're selling it.
Work with
everyone's at our work supporting us. So it's been
awesome.
Been pretty cool. And like I said, we're planning on both keeping our jobs right off the bat. So it's gonna be. We're already doing it now. It's no sleep, Every spare time we have, we're brewing, doing stuff with beer, or going to work and trying to juggle life all together, So we're gonna try. To stay at our jobs as long as possible, get this thing off the ground, and then hopefully down the road, we can look into something about leaving, but you can't do that until you know what's going on with the market, So it's like I said, it's cool. And both of us, our jobs, it's like they're all behind us, they're like ready for us, they support what we believe in, so it helps us,
How do you see the the coming market? Like, how do you follow those as you're coming up in a business? Because you're going from just like you said, the passion and that love of brewing, and being good at it, to actual business, brick and mortar, and then going from making a good product and going into the business side of it, and then seeing how the industry changes in the next 2 to 5 years. How do you guys see your brewery?
Yeah, everyone says all the time that it's a saturated market, and you just gotta kind of watch what everyone's doing around you all over the place, and you gotta change. I think if you don't change and you don't go with what the times are doing and what they're gonna do, you're gonna be left behind. Because craft beer now, most drinkers are informed. They know what they want. You know what I mean. So it's like if you're not putting out something that they don't want, they ain't coming back just because they like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So it's something that you gotta just pay attention and stay awake on it. And I think as long as you do that, and you like I said, we're the brewers owners, so it's not like we're the owners and we're hiring someone to do the brewing. So it's like we're passionate in what we're putting out. So I think that helps too. To try to get into it, and everyone knows that. Like I said, they're like, "Oh, you guys brew and you're the owners. This is cool," whatever. And they get to interact with us. So I think as long as you just stay on what you think you should be doing, and stay focused to your task at hand, I think we'll have no problem. Just like I said, weaving through the market. And people want to go somewhere that's a cool atmosphere. They want to go somewhere where they feel welcomed. And I think where we're headed with our future.
Yeah, we'll have the atmosphere there with the creek being there. We'll outdoor seating where it's right on the creek, and it'll be a nice atmosphere just to be in and just just to sit and drink and hang out. You know what I mean? It's going to be like just like a cool place to go to have a beer, outside or even inside, just depending on what you're into for the night.
Yeah, or what the weather is.
Yeah.
It's badass, like in wintertime, those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And you gotta be nice and comfy. It's, some comfy booze.
I can't break the seal. All right, seal break is a deal breaker. They didn't call me out. I did break the seal. You broke another seal, so we're gonna drink another beer. That's why you gotta keep drinking, man. I don't know why you went dry for a month, but just keep drinking. Drink up.
I mean, the month's almost over.
Well, y'all had an agreement in principle. When y'all did your last show at Compster, there was an agreement in principle that he would break today because it was 4 weeks. Nah, I should encourage. I'm a good friend. I'm gonna encourage you to stay on your shit. How's it feel like do you feel like, I don't know, how do you feel making beer? Like, people enjoy it, they use it in different scenarios, different places or whatever. Like, for me, so I get on site, we do comedy, we get on stage. I feel good after an event, but I can always witness the reaction to what I'm doing. You as a brewer, or having beer, I mean, I guess because you don't have to brick and mortar, I guess you don't sell it for them to go. So I guess you can still see it. But it's going to be different because, like, to sell a beer, to sell someone a case or a can, and you don't know what happens after it leaves. You don't know what type of night it was associated with. You know what I mean? Like, what if my beer was the night that she went through his phone? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done broke up a happy home. I don't know. How do you anticipate that feeling or whatever?
I think, like you said, right now it's like we're out there, we're giving our beer out, so we're getting feedback face to face. So that's a good feeling. Like I said, when we first started, like, I think last April was when we're like, we're gonna go out and we're gonna try to show our beer off, and our family tells us it's good. Is it really good? Mm-hmm. So we did our first beer fest, and people went crazy. I think we won 3 awards, and no one knew who we were there, so it was like kind of people looking at us like, who are these guys? You know what I mean? But no, it's a good feeling when we do something and you can see the happiness in someone's face. They really enjoy the product. But I think even down the road, it's going to be the same but different. Like you said, you could take in what happened after you left. That happened, Yeah. But no, it's a good feeling to see people genuinely like what you're doing, and you know what I mean.
You guys are working with Hardo for the festival.
Yeah. I'm stoked for that. Like I said, I've been listening to Hardo for a long time. So it's just, he came up, in the Pittsburgh music scene, and he was there, and then, but so it's sweet. I'm super excited to get with him. So I think we're meeting up with him tomorrow. So we're gonna try to hammer this out and get our beer going.
Yeah.
I want to try a trap beer for something. I don't even know what concept, what style that is, but a trap beer sounds like something I can be on board with.
Yeah. I'm excited as fuck for that.
Yeah. And for Hardo, I'm trying to figure out, like, because Pittsburgh really be, like, stuff happens in Pittsburgh and it may not go mainstream popping, but it be like the same shit that ended up going mainstream popping. Like, I remember when Chief Keef, he had that I Don't Like video, and it went like viral because they was just in the crib with, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I'm like, yo, did Hardo's video, that Cutthroat video, I don't know if that came before I Don't Like, but it was right around that time. It was like the same thing. Like, Pittsburgh be having some shit happening here, and people don't be recognizing. Shout out to Hardo, man. He was on the cusp of that. I don't know what type of or genre rap that is. But just, yeah, I think that and the Don't Like video are very similar, and I feel like they came out like right around the same time, and people kind of slept on Hardo shit.
Yeah, so that's why I said, like, I've been listening to him since he first came out. It was like him, Wiz, Mac Miller, all together. So it's like someone I've been following. His story, what he's doing, and he's finally like starting to get, I think, the attention that beyond Pittsburgh that I think he deserved to get. So it's going to be fun. It's exciting for us.
So what is beyond Pittsburgh for you guys? Do you have aspirations to distribute nationally, or?
I think right now, I mean, obviously, that's a pretty big thing.
Well, yeah,
you know?
I mean,
But no, I mean it's something that we'll see when we get to that point, you know. But I think you can't ever close doors on stuff until you know what I mean. You always got to have an open mind, like you said. The market's changing. You got to be able to change and see where you fit in and what you're gonna do. So I think that's something, you know, that everyone thinks about going into opening a brewery. I want to have my beer as far out west as I can get it, you know.
right. But the way I view it though, like the breweries that distribute nationally, they seem shackled as far as what they can actually produce. So people who are craftsmen of sorts, you know what I mean? Like they're like really into making the beer. That may not be something that you aspire to do. Like, yeah, I could go and make all this money or be this big, but I can only do a Pilsner. Or I'm only doing lagers. I don't really have the room to explore. And so I wonder in your profession, like, do people aspire to that, or do they aspire to be like a regional? So you're distributing, you're everywhere, but only in a region. But I can also have like mad variety in what I do.
I think there's a lot of people that do think about that, want to get big. But yeah, I think to where you're saying, it's like the smaller, not like generally, but say the region, the smaller you can expand your thing. I mean, you take just say a hazy IPA, you send it across the West Coast. I mean, it's not going to be what it was back here. So I think we like to stay small, but you can't ever think, you know, nothing can happen to you like that you can get bigger. But I think for us where we're at, we're comfortable right now, obviously just getting our feet wet into the business, of being able to experiment, being able to put these off the wall beers that we want to do and people want out there. So I think our tap room for the beginning is going to be our big, everyone's going to be coming there. And then hopefully, yeah, we're hoping to have some accounts throughout the Pittsburgh area, try to get our beer out too. But after that, yeah, you never know.
How do people gas up brewers? Like, so with comedians, they'll be like, yo, man, you can be so-and-so, or you should be on tour. Like, they'll say that to you. Like, if they think you're good, they feel like you should be at this club here or this club there or whatever. What do they say? What do brewers say to other brewers? Like, yo, you should be brewing Saisons. Like, is that like, you should be Budweiser. Like, what do they say? Like,
I don't
like to say your beer is good as fuck.
I don't think they say anything really. It's just yeah, you make good beer and keep making good beer.
Like,
yeah,
you make good ass beer.
Yeah.
Do I make nationally acceptable beer? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just good ass beer.
Yeah, I think like the community of the brewers is all cool, you know, like everyone's so close knit. But yeah, I don't think it's anything like that. It's just, you know, you can give someone something, they're going to say it's a great beer, and you can, you know, ask them, what can I do to give it better? What would you think? You know, just get thoughts. I think it's the feedback is what makes you a better brewer in the industry.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid of like somebody to say, oh, well, this is okay beer, but it could be better. You know, like you can't be like put off by constructive criticism. You know, like you have to accept it and make it better. If somebody's like, oh, well, you could do this or you should try this, you got to take that and run with it and just see what more you can do with it.
I mean, like, how do you know if your beer is off? Like, I mean, I hear there's a lot of that like being served. Yeah, I mean, like, and it's crazy. Like, you know, like how off, you know, like that's the question. I guess is how off can a beer be, and still serve it in some regards? Because
I think, like I said, as us being the brewers owners, if I try something, he tries something that we don't like, I'm not giving it to somebody.
It'll just get dumped down the drain. I mean, as much as it'll suck, but
luckily we don't have to do that right now. We haven't had to in a long time. But I mean, there's a spot that was telling you not to. Any craft beer drinker, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You want to sniff. You want to meet what you're about to drink. You know. And there was a place telling you not to drink it or not to smell it before you drank it. Because it smelled off, and that's something that if
a place told them to not smell it.
Don't smell our shit.
Yeah, don't smell it.
If just go in.
I will never.
Wow.
Yeah,
like we said that from the.
It's a red flag.
It smells wrong, but it's cool.
Yeah,
don't smell.
And that's what like our big thing. Like we both agreed like quality is everything. If the quality isn't there,
Hold
then we don't want it. Yeah.
Yo, don't smell our shit though. Don't smell it. Just drink it.
Yeah, so I think once you're getting to there, it's like you got to question what you're doing. What you know what I mean? Are you in it just to serve people at a brewery, or are you in it to serve something that you're passionate, something that you want to drink and that you like? So like I said, I would never give somebody something that I think's questionable, just because I care about the liquid. You know what I mean? And it's like we don't got all this X amount of dollars behind us, so it's like we gotta put our all into this and have the passion, and we gotta put out quality liquid, or that's another thing we'll get left behind.
So how do you so as brewers, if someone gives you something like I'm a new brewer, or I have a brewery, I got a new style I'm working on, and I slide it to you, how do you critique that? How do you give constructive criticism? Because I don't know if you can speak to process. So do you just be like, yo, it's too bitter, or do you say something smooth like, it's a bit bitter, isn't it? Yo, I'll throw an accent on one real quick to try to soften my words. It's a bit bitter, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I think people are gonna, they're gonna ask you what you did along the process, when you did something, and they're gonna try to help you. Like everyone we talk to, they'll try to help us hammer down something if we can't figure out what's causing it to do that. They just want to know the process and figure out what we did or what we should have did to get to where we wanted to be.
Yeah, like a car. Like diagnose that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. Everyone, they don't come flat out and say your beer sucks. This is wrong. But I mean, they're gonna get you to where you need to go. For the most part, and no one's gonna look bad on you. I mean, it's happened to everybody, But so it's cool, man.
That's a dope. Like I said, it's a dope community to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice whenever everybody's just like so helpful and so like they're not really there to like keep you from doing it or like to put you down or
So how do you spread that beyond the brew industry? I mean, there's like the brew industry seems to have figured it out. Like, oh shit, borrow some sugar. You know what I mean? Like, I really be like, just knowledge, like literal, like ingredients and shit, like parts. Like, it's a whole community of people. How do you expand like that message beyond the brew community?
Yeah, it is crazy. Like you said, everyone in the brew industry is willing to help each other out. But then you see other industries, they're like, hate each other. They don't want to talk to each other. They're rivals. So I don't know. I just think everyone offers something different. So just stick to what you think and your goal, and you know what I mean. You'll get there. But you can't have a bitter attitude towards your neighbor. We're all in this together. We're small business. You know what I mean. So I don't know where, like, how the brewing industry is so helpful, but then you go to a totally different industry and it's like they don't even want to talk to each other. They're neighbors though.
Got the same mower company.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But brewing, I mean, just even if we, go back to earlier in the conversation, it seems like brewing there's more upside to being local or regional. You know what I'm saying? There's more, it feels like within it, there's more upside, because now when you have a concentrated following or whatever, you have room to explore. Because like within beer, okay, I can go and look for an IPA wherever, but like I may like the style of this IPA, it's produced here, it's local, but they also explore other shit. I like however they go about getting their beers, it feel good to me. And I get them to be able to go into different and try different beers. So now I'm open to different, styles or whatever. I don't know if all industries like that though. Like there's a value to being local.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, it's not like motherfuckers be like, you know what, I really like this lawnmower. Maybe next week I'm gonna go get a lawnmower.
Yeah, like like ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying?
I'm in the market for a large boat. Maybe I'll get a boat next week from that guy.
Like,
yeah,
it's
no,
weird.
it's a
like,
little, it's tough.
Discussing it though, you would think like if all industry was like craft industry, then all areas can flourish because everything can stay within its ecosystem, like all that dollar circulating, because we like how this is done here. It's reflective of this particular place. But then if I'm at my cousin's crib, 3 counties over, it's still good. Like that industry, that thing is still being produced in that way. So I don't know. Maybe it's a testament. Like, yo, let's break down all large corporate whatever. Just whatever's large and corporate, let's break it the fuck down.
Eat them. Eat them motherfuckers.
I think I just fell into a political statement that'll get me fired. I didn't even want to get there, but it just makes so much sense. Like when you look at it, like when you can, the craft industry, and you guys can speak to it directly. Like someone here is, they're rooting for this person over here because if they like your shit, then they'll give mine a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that, it's not an already established, like this is intrinsically a part of your life. But if you like it, you can find it in different forms and varieties, but similar to in all these different places. And I think it's a great industry to be in. You know what I mean? Like real estate's the same way. Like, look, we all like land, but this land it looks like this here. These are the style of homes that we build. This is the layout. Hell, in the city of Pittsburgh, you're not going to have a backyard. I mean, you're just not. Get over it. It's not happening.
Like, are there like beer regions? You know what I mean? Like, this flavor
Has to be.
Like change as you go throughout regions, like the likes and dislikes throughout like America. You know how like food changes as you go through America. Like, is there any kind of trend like that in the industry? That would be like interesting as fuck.
Yeah, I mean there is definitely, like, you go out towards California, it's like their West Coast IPAs. You come out here, they're all the hazy IPAs, and it's like out in California, they're like, what are they doing over here? Do they know how to make beer? Because they just don't. They think it's totally different. They got this clear, bitter beer, and you're coming out with an IPA that is hazy and fruity, no bitterness. So it's I think throughout, even you go to different countries too. The beer is totally different. It's what their style, where they're trying to go with them, is totally different. So it's cool. Like, and I think that's what makes the craft beer. Is you can go here and get something, and then you can go right down the road to a different town, and it's going to be totally different, and people like that, different flavors that they like, and that's the craft beer. They want to try everything different. They want something different. Could be the same IPA here or there, but they're gonna have something different. They're not gonna be exactly the same.
And that's why the Pilsner is important. Because no matter how this other shit looks here, there, and the third, the Pilsner stays the same. Okay. Yeah. That made this whole shit make sense.
Full circle.
That is full circle. Like, yo, that Pilsner shit just clicked right there. I was like, you know what? Okay, I get it. I get it now. I get. That's why you have to you have to spell your names in those Scantron bubbles. Like, why do I have to spell my name? You know whose test this is. But it's the Pilsner of test taking. So for individuals who are looking for union bros, like, how do we find you? Where are you going to be? When should we expect to be able to go in and sit at some sort of bench and drink and then have to call an Uber?
Yeah, you could find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on our Facebook page we have pinned all of our events that we're doing. As soon as we get new ones, we add them right to the list. Like I said, we just got held back with all these permitting, so we were hoping the end of this year we'd be open, but we're looking now maybe early next year that we'll be open, ready for people to come in. So it's like a process, everything takes time. And we just got stuck with all these engineers. Like, we talked to everyone, they're like, how's it going? And we're like, give them this look. And they're like, I had to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of red tape for a while, but now that we've got it all sorted, it's like, now it's starting to move, and we're getting somewhere with it, which is nice.
That's good, man. Everybody's looking forward to it. I know I am.
Yeah, you can also catch them down at Fresh Fest.
Yes.
Fresh Fest.
That's just all in the Fresh Fest.
Hardo and Natural Beauty.
Yeah, we actually met up with Natural Beauty last week, so we're super stoked for that. She's stoked.
That's a Coco. That's a Coco-preneur connect. Yeah. She pushed the natural on me. I'm like, I don't even have any hair. She's like, do something with your beard. I'm like,
That's That's why his ankles was out the other
That my ankles. Listen, man, my wife, you can have my ankles out. I got good ankles out ankles though. They're symmetrical. They're not cankles. They're well lubricated ankles. I look all right with my ankles out.
Cankles. Wow.
They're not cankles. I don't have cankles. The cankle is a man.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's the. Well, I got this extra meat.
I just always cover them just in case like a cankle were to occur. Like it was just nobody would even notice. It's just like, oh shit, like jeans.
Jeans.
There goes Day again in his jeans.
You gotta work your ankles out. You gotta do the twirly thing with your ankle and work it out. Work the muscles out. Keep it nice and toned, nice and fit.
Yeah,
It's like abs.
that's the last thing I want to do is see you shake your foot at me.
That's why I shake my foot at
I
you.
want
It's
to
not
end
even a
this
shake. It's a
podcast in any-
rotation. That's why
in
my
any way,
ankles.
shape, or
Tell them
form.
where they can find us as I work my ankle out.
This is awkward. You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspot. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Lips, and Google Play, and Spotify. And this is weird. Under tree.
Why is it so weird? Nothing's happening, but it's only you speaking.
On IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partnerspot.
Hey, we want to thank Jeremiah and Zach for coming through. If you haven't had any Union Bros Brewing, get it, find it, be somewhere that they're going to be. Check out their website, check out, you know what I'm saying, all their web pages, because when they open, it's going to fuck some shit up, because I know I'm going to be in there loud. I'm just going to be sitting there getting wasted, because it's good beer, man. So we thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for, partnering with us on the Epic Night of Comedies. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Drinking Partners crew. Epicast is the family. And this is episode 22. Why is it sleep? Why is it so weird? Because you're restricted to sleep. Let it out. Let it out. Don't be coy or bashful.
I'm always being